If you thought the debate over Rush's return had finally settled down, think again. A single performance of Tom Sawyer has fans arguing all over social media, YouTube comment sections, and music forums, and at the center of it all is drummer Anika Nilles. When Rush kicked off their highly anticipated 50-something tour at the Kia Forum in Los Angeles, fans knew they were about to witness history. It was the band's first full tour in more than a decade, and their first without legendary drummer Neil Peart. That alone guaranteed intense emotions. But nobody expected one performance to create this much discussion. During Tom Sawyer, arguably Rush's most famous song, all eyes were on Anika Nilles. The pressure couldn't have been higher. She wasn't just playing a classic rock song. She was stepping into one of the most demanding roles in rock history. According to multiple concert reviews, the crowd erupted when she nailed the song's iconic drum fills, a moment many fans viewed as the unofficial test of whether Rush could truly move forward. But here's where things get interesting. While thousands of fans praised her performance, others began asking a difficult question. Should anyone be playing Neil Peart's parts at all? And that's where the argument really begins. To understand why so many fans are defending Anika Nilles, you first have to understand who she is. Long before joining Rush for the 50-something tour, Anika had already built a reputation as one of the most respected drummers in modern music. Her videos showcasing advanced independence, complex rhythms, and incredible technical control earned millions of views online. She wasn't selected because she could imitate Neil Peart. She was selected because she had the skill, creativity, and musical intelligence to handle one of the toughest catalogs in rock history. And that's exactly what many fans believe they're seeing on stage. Instead of trying to become a copy of Neil Peart, Anika appears to be approaching these songs with respect, while still sounding like herself. Supporters argue that's the only way this could ever work. After all, Neil Peart's style was unique. Nobody can truly replace him, and pretending otherwise would be impossible. Following the Los Angeles performance of Tom Sawyer, many fans praised Anika for maintaining the song's energy and technical precision while bringing her own touch to certain fills and transitions. Some even argued that Rush made the right decision by choosing a drummer with her own identity, rather than someone trying to recreate every note exactly as Neil played it. For these fans, the goal isn't replacement. The goal is celebration. And they believe Anika's performance proved that Rush can honor its past while still creating something meaningful in the present. But not everyone sees it that way. While many fans walked away impressed, another group came away feeling very differently. Their criticism isn't necessarily aimed at Anika Nilles herself. In fact, many of these fans openly acknowledge that she's an incredible drummer. The issue, they say, is something much bigger than technical ability. For decades, Neil Peart wasn't just Rush's drummer. He was one of the band's defining creative forces. His drumming style, lyrical contributions, and larger-than-life presence became inseparable from the Rush identity. For some longtime fans, hearing those songs performed by anyone else simply feels strange. After clips of Tom Sawyer began circulating online, some viewers argued that even a flawless performance wouldn't change that feeling. They believe certain bands are so closely tied to specific members that continuing without them changes the experience forever. Others focused on the musical differences they noticed. Some fans felt that Anika's naturally fluid and modern style contrasts with the precision and aggressive attack that many associate with Neil Peart's classic performances. To these listeners, the songs sound different, and not necessarily in a way they prefer. Then there's another concern. Some fans worry that comparisons between Anika and Neil are unfair from the very beginning. Every fill, every transition, and every drum solo is being analyzed under a microscope. No matter how well she performs, she's being measured against a musician many consider one of the greatest drummers who ever lived. And that's a comparison almost nobody could win. But while fans continue debating the music, an even bigger question is starting to emerge. What do Alex Lifeson and Geddy Lee actually want Rush's future to look like? Lost in all the arguments about Anika Nilles is a question that may matter even more. Why did Rush decide to return in the first place? For Alex Lifeson and Geddy Lee, this tour was never presented as an attempt to replace Neil Peart. In interviews over the years, both musicians have repeatedly emphasized the enormous impact Neil had on their lives and on the band's legacy. His passing in 2020 marked the end of an era that many believed could never be revisited. That's why the 50-something tour carries so much emotional weight. Rather than pretending the past didn't happen, Rush appears to be embracing it. Throughout the tour, moments of tribute to Neil have been woven into the experience, reminding fans that his influence remains at the heart of everything the band does. Supporters of the tour argue that this is exactly what Neil would have wanted. Not for Rush's music to be locked away forever, but for it to continue inspiring audiences. They see the performances as a celebration of the band's history rather than an attempt to rewrite it. And that's where Anika's role becomes especially important. She's not being asked to become Neil Peart. She's being asked to help bring these songs to life for a new generation while respecting the legacy that made them famous in the first place. Still, the emotional connection many fans have with Neil means the debate isn't going away anytime soon. In fact, after the reaction to Tom Sawyer, some fans have started asking an even bigger question. Could this controversy actually be helping Rush more than hurting them? Here's the surprising part of this entire story. The debate surrounding Anika Nilles may actually be helping Rush more than anyone expected. Think about it. Every major moment from this tour is being discussed online. Fans are sharing clips, reacting to performances, posting reviews, and debating every detail. Whether someone loves Anika's approach or disagrees with it, they're still talking about Rush. And in today's music world, attention is incredibly valuable. Many younger listeners who never had the chance to see Rush during Neil Peart's era are now discovering the band for the first time. Some came because they follow Anika Nilles. Others stumbled across viral clips from the tour. Either way, they're being introduced to a catalog of music that has influenced generations of musicians. That's something few classic rock bands manage to achieve decades into their careers. Ironically, the very thing dividing fans may also be creating renewed interest in Rush's legacy. And there is another factor people often overlook. Most legendary bands eventually face difficult decisions about how to move forward after losing an iconic member. Some choose to retire completely, others continue with new musicians. Neither choice satisfies everyone. Rush chose the harder path. They chose to step back onto the stage, knowing they would face criticism, comparisons, and impossible expectations. Yet night after night, they're still performing these songs for thousands of fans who never stopped believing in the music. And that leads us to the biggest takeaway from all of this. At the end of the day, the argument surrounding Anika Nilles isn't really about whether she's talented enough to play with Rush. Most fans agree that she is. The real debate is about something much deeper. It's about how fans choose to preserve the legacy of a band they love. Some believe Rush should have ended permanently after Neil Peart's passing. Others believe the music deserves to live on, even if the lineup can never be exactly the same. And honestly, both sides make valid points. What nobody can deny is that Anika walked into one of the most difficult situations any musician could face. She stepped onto a stage carrying the expectations of millions of Rush fans and performed songs that many consider untouchable. Whether you love her interpretation or prefer the original versions, that's a challenge that deserves respect. As for that now famous performance of Tom Sawyer, it may ultimately be remembered for more than just the drumming. It exposed the emotions, memories, and passion that still surround Rush decades after the band's biggest successes. Few groups inspire this level of discussion so many years into their career, and maybe that's the strongest sign of Rush's lasting impact. The fact that fans are still debating, still analyzing, and still caring this deeply proves that the band's legacy remains as powerful as ever. But now we want to hear from you. Do you think Anika Nilles is the right choice to help carry Rush's music forward? Or do you believe some legacies should never be revisited? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest Rush news, tour updates, and deep dives into the stories everyone is talking about. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.